Assalamu alaikum. This is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Verdict of fascist Sheikh Hasina crimes against humanity, example for future of the country, says Youth Society. Laldia terminal to drive economic growth and boost container handling of Chittagong port, says Port Authority. Mobile app Postal Vote BD for expatriate Bangladeshi voters launched. UN Security Council approves US plan for Gaza International Force. Hamas vows to reject. And Bangladesh facing India in AFC Asian Cup qualifiers in Dhaka. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. The conviction of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina by the International Crimes Tribunal on November 17 for crimes against humanity committed during the July mass uprising has sparked intense discussions and widespread jubilation among the youth in the port city of Chittagong. Following a period of stagnation and the bloody turmoil of the July events, young people who led the movement for reform view the verdict as a historic affirmation of their demand for justice against the perpetrators of the July massacre. Immediately after the verdict was pronounced, scenes of unbridled celebration erupted across various campuses and public spaces nationwide, especially among students associated with the pro-reform movement. Young activists stress that the pursuit of justice must extend beyond the highest office to grassroots perpetrators to dismantle the culture of impunity entirely. With social media channels, youth are expressing their views, commenting on the verdict, saying the ruling as a crucial opportunity for Bangladesh to break free from a prolonged culture of impunity. They believe this judgment will stand as an epoch-making message for future generations, signaling that even the most powerful figures are not above the law. The youth's vision is of a nation that moves beyond confrontation, founded on the principle of political accountability. For the young people of Chattogram, this verdict is not just the conclusion of a legal case, it is the inauguration of a new era. They recognize that the movement they initiated has demonstrated that even an individual at the highest office of the state can be held accountable. This outcome has cemented their faith in the judicial process, carrying with it the fervent expectation for a future benevolent state built on a foundation of conflict-free political accountability. In a major move to boost the country's trade logistics, the Chittagong Port Authority and Denmark-based APM terminals have signed a 30-year concession agreement for the construction and operation of the Laldia container terminal. The landmark agreement signed on November 17 marks the single largest European equity investment in Bangladesh to date, with an initial expected foreign direct. The new terminal is set to be developed on a 32-acre chor near the mouth of the Karnafuli River in the Pottinga area of Chattogram. It addresses the urgent need to speed up the handling of import and export containers. As Chittagong port, with only 4 terminals built in its 137-year history, only 2 of which were built in the last 35 years, strains under increasing load. Chittagong port currently handles around 3.2 million 20-foot equivalent units annually and has a container capacity of 53,000 20-foot equivalent units. The government is relying on the Laldia terminal to manage an additional 1.5 million TEUs of container handling capacity by 2030. Under the public-private partnership framework, the Danish company will be responsible for the design, financing, construction and operation. The Laldia terminal benefits from a naturally deep draft of nearly 10 meters in the Cornflea River nearby. This will allow it to accommodate vessels up to 10 meters draft and 200 meters in length, significantly larger than current capacities. The project is expected to create over thousands of jobs, while its improved efficiency will strengthen Bangladesh's economy and competitiveness, helping the port transition to a world-class facility. The mobile app Postal Vote BD for expatriate Bangladeshi voters is being launched today ahead of the next parliamentary election. Chief Election Commissioner A.M.M. Nasiruddin will inaugurate the much-anticipated app this evening at a ceremony in the conference room of the Election Commission headquarters. Following the launch, expatriate voters will be able to download the mobile app and complete their registration. Bangladesh Television will broadcast the launching ceremony live. Finance advisor Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed said that the government will purchase 17,000 shotguns for Ansar personnel ahead of the national election. He revealed the information today while speaking to reporters after a meeting of the Advisory Committee on Public Procurement and the Advisory Committee on Economic Affairs at the Secretariat. The decision has been taken as the existing weapons used by the Ansar members are very old, he said. Salahuddin Ahmed also mentioned that as per an earlier decision, the plan to buy 40,000 body-worn cameras for polling station security has been cancelled. The advisor emphasized that all purchases will be made with full transparency. Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed further said that due to high demand, the government has approved allocation for the purchase of 1 crore e-passport books. Additionally, considering the shortage of vaccines, EPI vaccines will be procured. The finance advisor also said that the government will import rice and wheat before Ramadan to keep prices stable. Now, international news. The UN Security Council has voted in favor of a US-drafted resolution that endorses US President Donald Trump's 20-point plan for Gaza. Included in the plan is the establishment of an International Stabilization Force (ISF), to which the US says multiple unnamed countries have offered to contribute. The resolution was backed by 13 countries, including the UK, France, and Somalia, with none voting against the proposal. Russia and China abstained. Adopting it was an important step in the consolidation of the ceasefire. A spokesperson for UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said Hamas has rejected the resolution, saying it fails to meet Palestinians' rights and demands. The Palestinian armed group wrote on Telegram after the resolution passed that the plan imposes an international guardianship mechanism on the Gaza Strip, which the people of Gaza and its factions reject. South Korea has proposed talks with North Korea to avoid border clashes. The first such offer in 7 years, as Seoul seeks to ease military tensions with its nuclear-armed neighbor, citing recent incursions by North Korean troops Kim Hong-kyol, Deputy Minister for National Defense Policy, told a news briefing on Monday that military-to-military channels can help avert an escalation. Referring to the military demarcation line on their border, he said, to prevent accidental clashes and ease military tensions, military of the two countries officially proposes that the two sides hold inter-Korean military talks to discuss the establishment of a clear reference line for the MDL. The MDL lies inside the Demilitarized Zone DMZ, a buffer zone that runs for 250 kilometers across the Korean peninsula with a width of 4 kilometers. Seoul and Pyongyang technically remain at war because the 1953 Korean Armistice Agreement, which halted the conflict between them, was never followed by a peace treaty. An estimated 2 million mines are peppered inside and along the border, which is also guarded by combat troops, barbed wire fences, and tank traps. Ukraine will receive up to 100 of France's Rafale F-4 fighter jets as well as advanced air defense systems in a major deal to boost Kyiv's ability to protect itself against deadly Russian attacks. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed the move as historic after signing the letter of intent with which French counterpart Emmanuel Macron at an air base near Paris. Deliveries of the Rafale F-4S are planned to be completed by 2035, while the joint production of interceptor drones is starting this year. Financial details are yet to be worked out, but reports say France plans to attract EU financing and also access frozen Russian assets, a controversial move that has split the 27-member bloc. Ukraine will also get very strong French Raaters, 8 air defense systems, and other advanced weaponry, he added. Zelensky stressed that using such advanced systems means protecting someone's life. This is very important. Now, sports news. Football. Bangladesh men's football team take on neighbours India in its penultimate Group C match of the AFC Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers third round at Dhaka's National Stadium. With both teams already out of contention for next year's Continental Showpiece, the match won't have much significance in the qualification scenario. However, pride will be on the line for the two neighbours who have shared a healthy rivalry over the years. Bangladesh football team are currently at the bottom of Group C with 2 points from 4 games, while Khalid Jamil's Blue Tigers also have the same number of points but are placed one place better, having scored more goals.